Hello, TV and movie fans. I'm the movie guru, and today we're talking with Shawn Burkett from Dayton, Ohio, co owner of Concept Media and the director and creator of the most insane Bigfoot movie ever made, Stranded. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. And yourself?
Good. I'm good. It's great speaking to you. And now, for those who don't know, Stranded is a creature feature. If you're a horror fan like me, you love the genre and you love when people go above and beyond to scare you. And that's exactly what you did. So, Stranded is a group where a group of siblings go to Fuke, Arkansas. Am I saying that right? Is it Fuke?
It's Falk.
Falk. Okay. And they break down in the wilderness, of course, right? And stranded and terrorized by the legendary Sasquatch monster. And this will be releasing on Wild Eye releases. So, my first question is, what makes this the most insane Bigfoot movie ever?
I would like to take. Well, I wouldn't like to take credit for that. I didn't write that. That was a PR person. Uh, but I definitely feel like it is different from all the other Bigfoot movies because they're normally they're very brutal. Like
Hmm.
Bigfoot is just this wild animal that just without rhyme or reason just goes and kills people. And if there is a Bigfoot, I don't feel like that would be how it would be.
Okay, I like that. I like that. And that was really my next question. Like, um, do you think Bigfoot is real?
That's a, that is a loaded question. I could go on and on. Uh, I've done so much research, gone to I didn't know that there's conventions just
Oh
for
yeah.
um I've done a lot of research. Um, I got to talk to the a couple people from the Finding Bigfoot show, uh, Cliff
Okay.
Cliff Barrickman. I got to chat with him and pick his brain a little bit while before we made this film. And you know, I just if there is something out there, I feel like it would be something tangible,
Hmm.
like an ancestor of the great ape Gigantopithecus.
Yes.
I don't really believe that there is this furry humanoid out there that can has some sort of invisibility cloak
Right.
to go invisible. Because I
Now you
mean,
see him, now you don't, right?
right, that is one of the theories. So it's at that point, wouldn't he just be an alien?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Or a guy in a suit, right?
Right, or a guy in a suit.
Yeah, but and that's why I wanted to ask that because I figured that you did some research on it, and if anybody was closer to the truth, it would definitely have to be you who just did a movie on it, and also too, sometimes weird things happen during shoots, and I was going to ask you, like, did something weird happen while you guys were out there in the forest where you were like, hold on, wait a minute.
Well, and this is kind of this might blow your mind a little bit, but other than the daytime shots in the woods and the very end of the film, all the woods was shot in a barn or in my apartment.
Mm.
So, uh, luckily, I had two movies before where we shot in the woods. I feel like I've spent the last decade of my life making movies in the woods. So I was like, I don't want to go into the woods.
And
So,
so for also too, that's funny you say that because some of your other films have been titled "Don't F in the Woods." So you're like, hey, I don't want to go in the woods.
yep,
Might want to F in the woods, but don't F in the woods.
right. I'm just kind of burnt out on the woods.
And I can understand that. As a avid movie watcher, that part is what it seems to go to, right? Like certain films is in the woods, or it starts in the woods, or it has to be something in the woods, right?
Hmm.
So I could totally understand that. But I was lucky enough to see Stranded, and the first thing that I noticed was your shots, your scenes, right, your transitions, and just the story you told. And I could tell that there was something different about the story that you were telling here, just from the way you were telling it. And so, can you talk about maybe your technique or your cinematography, or how you go into making your movies?
A lot of it is, it is just, it's half random and it's half thought out. Um, Generally, before uh, we even start writing, I have like certain images in my head, and it's like, okay, I know I would like a shot like that somewhere in this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then me and like my camera operator, we will sit down and we will talk about things because I put him through hell on every film. Travis Wilson is a workhorse, and I would just be like, so instead of doing this, could we do this? And it'll be like a one take of like a 4 minute long scene or something like that, just because it flows better when the camera is moving versus just kind of standing still, moving a little bit. I feel like that's the difference between like great cinematography and good cinematography.
Hmm.
But I studied a lot of older movies. Orson Welles, he's one of my favorite cinematographers. He always keeps the camera moving and keeps you
Hmm.
like interested. And even with lighting, we didn't get to do a lot of it, but like he will layer things in the background with different layers of lighting. Um, that's one thing we tried to do, but given the space that we had, we filmed, and I want to say it was like maybe 40 foot by 70 foot in a barn. And literally, we brought in trees and made a road and just the whole thing, um, to where we didn't have a lot of space for a ton of movement. But I think in the end, we were able to move quite a bit. It's just every time like you see somebody talking in a car, you can't move a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and also too, looking into your film, I saw that you guys ran an Indiegogo campaign,
Hmm.
and I thought that was really cool. Crowdfunding is really big these days. You hear a lot of people talking about it, but you don't really see a lot of people doing it. And I would go cross over to say you're doing it, right? Like, I took a look at the page, and I mean, I was blown away. I mean, you guys not only completed your goal, I mean, you guys, exceeded that goal.
Yeah. It was, if I had to compare it to anything, it would be like running for president. You have to stay in the public's view. I would do anything and everything. I called people, I emailed people. Um, I actually like personally video recorded hundreds of messages to send to people on Facebook, just being like, hey, James, wanted to let you know that our training campaign is launching tomorrow and we have this goal set, so you should check it out. Just shaking hands and kissing all the babies.
Well, I mean, I guess just like the presidential campaigns, there has to be a winner,
Yeah,
and you guys won.
yeah, it was a lot of work. Um, but it was worth it. I this film, um, I've been wanting to kind of transition into thriller more than just blood and guts horror. So I think this is going to be a really good way to do so, but still have horror involved.
Hmm.
But yeah, crowdfunding is a crazy, crazy thing. I'm so thankful for everyone who contributed to anything that I've done because, well, without them, these films wouldn't be getting made.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that was great. You know that you guys were successful, and I'm just looking at some of the incentives you have here, and it seems like you guys really got creative too. I mean, you guys played off the lore. I mean, you guys had a Bigfoot cast, right? I mean,
Hmm.
that's big in the Bigfoot lore. You know, people having the casts, and then it looks like you even we're allowing people to be producers and featured artists and set VIPs. And I even saw one on here where it says you too can be killed by a Bigfoot.
Yeah, initially, um, the opening of the film started out with a missing child and a big search party, and that search party, part of them ended up getting killed by Bigfoot. But when the pandemic hit, we literally filmed everything that we had to film in the woods at night
Hmm.
with the main characters and everything. And we came out of the woods on like March 8th of 2020. And within like 3 or 4 days, schools were closing and the pandemic just took over to where we couldn't film. And then also, nobody wanted to travel to film. So the people who initially paid to get killed in the movie weren't killed.
Oh, okay.
And we offered them different perks to make up for it.
Yeah. I mean, because that's a good chance. I mean, I would have jumped at that.
Yeah.
Seeing the Indigo. I think that's a cool incentive, man. Like, to be in that. And also be killed in the movie. I think that'd be kind of cool. And so, so outside of Stranded, are there any other movies that you have found to be interesting? Because if you just search, Bigfoot films, I mean, you'll see hundreds of them, right? Um, I would say my personal favorite is the 2006. It's called Abominable,
Okay.
and it's kind of like a mix between Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window
Hmm.
and Bigfoot, where he's in the wheelchair, right? And he sees Bigfoot through the window attacking the other cabin. He's doing like a whole bunch of things to like stop him from attacking them. And then he turns on him, and I always thought that was cool. They used to show it on sci-fi all the time.
Yeah. Um, for me, like I can remember the first Bigfoot movie I ever saw, and that was The Legend of Boggy Creek. And still to this day, hearing that monster make the noise that it makes, like the hair stands up on the back of my neck. Um, but I mean, there's so many that I
There is
enjoy.
a lot.
Um, I was a fan of Exists by the Blair Witch director Eduardo Sanchez.
Hmm.
That was a good one for me. Um, there's one called Sasquatch,
Hmm.
but then later, I don't know if it was a legal thing. It was renamed The Untold,
Mm.
but it had Lance Henriksen in it.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a good one. I just recently tracked that down on DVD. It
Hmm.
took years to find that.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of the DVDs are becoming very rare and hard to find. And I've even seen some companies now doing like gradings for VHS cassettes and DVDs.
Yeah.
So I mean that definitely is good to have that physical copy. And I see you guys had did a DVD release as well.
Oh yeah. We do, you name it, DVD, Blu-ray. We're getting ready to start releasing 4K
Mhm.
Blu-rays. 'Cause it
Now,
seems
is it hard to release DVDs now with so much on demand, or is it
I'm
easier?
DVDs, I'll be honest with you, and I don't know if it's just a area of the world, but we don't sell DVDs in any other state than Kentucky. Like, so we very rarely make DVDs anymore. But Blu-rays, I mean, from our personal site of like our catalog, I mean, we'll get between 10 to 30 sales a month. So it's, I wouldn't say it's dying off, but
Yeah.
then when we go to conventions,
Mhm.
um, we just went to one Scarefest at the end of October. And I mean, we sold over like 200 Blu-rays.
Ooh.
So it's like, as long as you, I feel like there's a strategy if you're an independent filmmaker, as long as
Yeah.
you tables at conventions, yes, it can be very profitable. Now, as far as making money from distribution off Blu-rays
Mhm.
or DVDs, well,
That's different.
you're already losing money because most distro companies will charge you between $5 and $10 for a DVD or Blu-ray.
Mm.
So then you've got to mark up the price, and then that price is kind of out of your comfort zone. So you just got to hope that people will want it that bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The distribution game is a finicky one.
Yeah. So Stranded stars Tara Glenn from The Terrifier 2.
Yeah, Tamara Glenn.
Yep. Dale Miller, he was in a 2018 version of Halloween.
Hmm.
Amanda Ade, The Scarehole. So how is it working with those guys?
Um, Tamara's great. That was the first time I've worked with her, and then I met her. We had a booth at the same convention she did, and got to hang out with her. She's great. I talk to her at least once or twice a month. Um, Dale, I love working with Dale. I worked with him on a couple projects. Um, he will give you 130%. He will just he does all his own stunts. He's like a licensed stunt man as well. So like he really brings it. And Amanda, that was my first time working with her. Um, so really, I didn't have a lot of contact with her. She does a voice in the beginning of the film.
Okay.
But for those of you who don't know, her father, rest in peace, is Meatloaf.
Oh wow. Wow, that's some movie info for you right there. And I got her right here on screen. Okay. So she has a voice. So she's the voice.
Yeah, she in the opening, uh, the police officer gets a phone call, and she plays that officer's wife.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that scene. Yep. 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 Really good. Okay. And so no, that's great. That's great information. And so also too, also reading up on you and what you got going on. How are you doing? I saw that you had a bad bout with the flu recently.
Yeah, I'm still recuperating. I was in a rush to get back here to have some quiet to do this. I should be on my oxygen right now, but uh, I'll be all right. Yeah,
Okay.
I got really bad pneumonia 3 weeks ago, and basically they told me it's going to take like 12 weeks to recover.
Wow.
So um, I sleep a lot. I had to quit smoking. I'm not the happiest guy in the world, but at least they told me I can continue drinking coffee.
Yeah.
So not the end of the world.
Not the end. Not the end. You're not stranded, right?
Sometimes it feels like I am.
But also too, the film, and I got it behind me. You guys have been doing well on some of the awards, right? I mean, you guys have been very well received. What's some of the awards you guys have won?
I know Horror Hound, we won 5 awards and got second place, technically, in two other categories. Um, but yeah, it seems like people are loving the film, and that's I'm waiting for, because it just came out Tuesday. I can't wait to see more reviews because I mean we have been done with the film for, wow, a year and a half now, if not longer. So we've just been waiting
Okay.
because, like, every distribution company, they have a schedule they have to keep, and titles that came before this. So it's like we've just been waiting.
Yeah, I can see how that's a difficult part, right? Because you finished it, and now, like you said, you're just waiting and waiting.
Hmm.
But it seems like it's been getting good feedback, and I know that has to be great, especially from putting the work in, working with so many people, and then you're like, you get this big, moment where you're like, we made it. It has to be some sort of, not like a validation because you guys, this is not your first film, but like finish line for what you created.
Right. I mean, this film, I mean, it's gotten a. I feel like it's achieved a lot of things for a lot of people. Um, this is one of the more serious tone films that we've done. Um, because, well, the other films are called "Don't Fuck in the Woods." So how serious are those going to be? Um, to where it's nice to, like, be able to work in both worlds. Like, we can do fun comedy, raunchy stuff, but we have actual, like, serious stories we want to tell. Um, so for me, that's huge because I don't know. It seems like horror is kind of getting even more uh like exploitive.
No, I know exactly what you mean. It seems it's like waves, right? You'll have a time where it's a ton of good content, right, in the horror genre, and then
Yeah,
it'll be like a joke, right? It'll be like a whole comedy joke, and they try to fill it with a little bit of slapstick and
right.
like not that the doll stuff was bad because I like Chucky and stuff like that. I didn't mind the demonic toys and things like that, but some of them were just a little bit gimmicky, if you will, right?
And it's
But
like,
but then it seems like they get back to the seriousness and they really create something that's solid that will really either jump scare and make it terrifying, or after you watch, you like, wow, that was really scary, and you
yeah.
get that feeling like you used to have when we used to watch the films. And I think you guys did that on Stranded. I'm really happy to talk to you today. And I just want to say thank you for doing what you do and bringing your vision to life for us movie fans. So thank you very much.
I'll keep trying.
Yeah, please do, and we'll keep watching. And so I want to thank you for your time. It's been great talking to you today, and we'll stay following you. Let everyone know where your social media stuff is at and how they can follow you and where they can check out Stranded.
I'm at SM Burkett. Most places: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And then Stranded is currently streaming on Vimeo, no, Voodoo, Amazon, and YouTube.
Got it. All right, Sean. Well, listen, take care, stay healthy, and we'll be checking out your film Stranded. And everybody, I'm the movie guru, and we'll see you on the next interview.